going to record to good afternoon. This is the November 3rd meeting of the Design and Project Review Committee. We do have a quorum. And is there a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules to allow meeting participation either electronically or by telephone.
Second.
Okay, Katie, please call the roll.
Nyden,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Bonetta,
Aye.
Eckersberg. She here? Ingrid?
No, Ingrid's not here. But just Kara, are you voting today?
Yes.
So Kara Pratt has joined the meeting.
Okay. So, all right. Well, motion carries.
All right, next up, meeting minutes of October 20th. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, Katie, call the roll.
Nyden,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Hano,
Abstain, now present.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Bonetta,
Aye.
and Pratt.
Aye.
Not calling myself because I wrote them. Okay, motion carries.
Okay, great. First item of business, 719 Church Street, recommendation to the zoning administrator. Cynthia Trefalek, applicant, submits for an administrative reviews for a type 2 restaurant, Elephant and Vine, in the D2 downtown retail core district. All right, is somebody on from Elephant and Vine?
Yeah, my name is Chris Zealous. I'm the Chief Growth Officer for the organization.
Great, so we're going to share a screen in a second if you want to tell us what you are proposing, and we'll go from there.
Sure. I also believe I have Cynthia and Dave, who are architects from DXU, on the line to answer any questions if there are any for them.
Katie, what are you able to share?
Okay. Ah. Okay, can everyone see? Okay.
You might need to zoom out just a little bit. I don't know if maybe can you kill the pages on the side?
Mm. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready.
All right, Elephant and Vine team, tell us what you're going to do here.
Yeah, so we're looking to take over the old Andy space and open up a 100% plant-based fast casual concept. It's going to be our very first location for our fast casual, and we're looking to basically have kind of a fast casual space, serving plant-based burgers, chicken, fries, shakes, smoothies, a bunch of other vegan treats, salads and bowls, and yeah. that's a little bit about the menu, a little bit about the concept. We have, I don't know if we have up to Cynthia, if we have updated renderings or if that's something that we wanted to share. But that's kind of the planned use of the space.
So how many like employees, like walk us through what happens from a customer experience, employee
Yeah,
experience,
so
how the space is used?
Yeah, so we're planning on having, I'd say 8 to 10 employees per shift, depending on projected sales volume. But ideally, the guest, will walk into our space, order at the counter, have a seat where their food, while their food's being prepared, or they can kind of hang out and wait a little bit, and then grab their food. We'll either bring it to the table, or they will kind of grab their bags and head out. We're planning for about the seat count in front of me. I apologize. Cynthia, do you have the seat count by chance? Just minimize the screen. Apologies.
This is Mario Evanson Fire Department. I believe it's 41 occupants and 6 employees.
Yep. That is about right. Apologies, guys. I have strep throat, so I'm on the struggle bus today. I apologize in advance, but I'm powering through. So that's kind of the layout. So our intention is that our guests will walk in. We'll have some greenery. It's going to be very light and bright, and kind of really just add a touch of elevation and sophistication to the fast casual world. So they'll walk in, kind of head to the main counter. They'll be able to order with our team, and then be able to grab any vegan treats. So we'll be doing burgers, like I mentioned, chicken sandwiches, some salads, some bowls, some shakes, and then offering some packaged goods, prepackaged goods as well.
Did you say you'd be doing delivery?
Our intention is to do pickup and delivery. We'll probably be working with some local partners like Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, etc. And we'll also be doing catering as well.
So how do you anticipate that operation being run? Because some of the other businesses that have that have often asked for a loading zone in front, and it's a little bit of an awkward space the way the street turns there. Have you given any thought to how that would work?
I have not. I don't think we'll generally in other restaurants that I've run, we've had usually they'll find some street parking and they'll either pay, either the delivery drivers are kind of responsible for their own vehicles and they'll run in or run out, and grab their belongings. If it's something that we need to consider, that's something we can discuss, but I don't foresee it having a tremendous impact in that area.
So I'm going to ask, I think there would be a concern given the tightness of that area. Mike Rivera, I don't know what you think. If we can accommodate loading in that area.
What is the exact address again? I'm sorry.
It's
So this is the old Andy's Frozen Custard space.
Yeah, currently it's tight there. We have 6 parking spaces there in front of that location, and we've been looking to do more of a holistic loading zone for different areas throughout the city of Evanston. So, this is something that wouldn't be specific to your business, but from the city's perspective, we could certainly contemplate putting in a load zone on that block that would be serviced by any of the businesses doing loading and unloading.
Right. There's a Chipotle that's next to us in the Collectivo across the street. So if it needs to be something that's more communal, I don't expect us needing something that's just solely for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be. It would be communal. So anybody loading anything for any business, or it could be even just a citizen loading a large object out of the Target, right? If they wanted to use it, so it wouldn't be specific for your business, and it would be one space, which would be approximately 20 feet.
Other questions from staff?
I have a question about you've listed sustainability measures for using compostable packaging. I believe that all the refuse and recycling containers are kept in the alleyway that's behind the building. Do you have any plans on how many containers you would need additional to your trash and potential recycling services, knowing that that area is pretty congested and that's where you are receiving your deliveries?
No, I mean, we would have just one, like, I think one trash, one recycling, and then we would keep probably a composting bin as well. I know that area is generally tight, but per the building ownership, I mean, and there is room for us to place our bins there.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question per se, but I have a couple of comments. Number one, I know that you are, you just submitted revisions for your plans for the interior build out. So I know that we're in the process of reviewing those, but I wanted to remind you that any signage is a separate permit and review process. And then I also wanted to remind you that you would be responsible for maintaining garbage around the facility. So like, you know, as people come and go and they have their garbage, their napkins or whatever, you'd have to make sure that you're monitoring that garbage in the area.
Absolutely. We'll make sure, I'll always make sure that our front of our spaces are kept clean, not only for the look and feel of our brand, but also to make sure that we're keeping our streets clean as well.
Good. And around the dumpster area is very important as well. I mean, you have the dumpster in the alley, but you still have to maintain that as well.
Totally. And then as far as signage, we are working on submitting that. And I understand it's a separate permit. We're working on finalizing our just quotes from vendors, and we should have that submitted hopefully within the next few weeks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, last call for staff questions. Any questions or comments? All right, is there any comments from the public for this item? All right, is there a motion from staff?
I'll make a motion for a positive recommendation to the zoning administrator, subject to the conditions listed in the zoning administrator's memo.
Second.
All right, Katie, call the roll.
Who seconded it? For the minutes.
I'll take it, Kara.
Kara, I think second for the first item.
Okay. All right, Naiden,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
I will vote yes. Schnur,
Aye.
Kano,
Aye.
Briggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Benetta,
Aye.
and Pratt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great. All right. Welcome to Evanston, and we look forward to having you open soon.
Thanks so much, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very exciting. Happy to be here.
Great. Next up, 750 Chicago Avenue, Jennifer Holtz, applicant submits for a preliminary review of a permanent patio awning for an existing outdoor seating area, firehouse grill in the C1 commercial mixed use district. Ms. Holtz, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. All right. Why don't you tell us what you are proposing to do?
I will do that. I will also say that we have, I believe, with us, Pat and Molly Fowler, the owners of Firehouse Grill. So they are available as well to field any questions. This is a proposal for a retractable rooftop shade structure to be constructed over the existing eating patio that's at the corner of Chicago and Madison. And that was a project that was reviewed by this group and approved several years ago. So this is not proposing a change to any existing dining use. It really just puts a cover over the patio that is already used for outdoor dining. Obviously, in the age of COVID, we're faced with challenges of how to utilize space little bit differently. So here you can see a perspective view from the southeast corner, roughly, of the site, looking back toward the building, and the planters that you're seeing there exist at the moment, but the roof structure is what would be new to the site. And it's fairly simple. I'm sure there will be questions which we'll be happy to address.
All right, any staff questions or comments?
I completed the zoning review, so I just wanted to note that it was compliant with zoning.
All right. If there's no other comments or questions, are there any comments or questions from the public?
I did actually.
Oh, Angel, go ahead.
I did. I just had a quick question. I don't see that you're think you're doing this on this particular drawing. Are you thinking to enclose it at all, or just leave it open with just the roof structure?
To start, it will be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to remind you that obviously you would have to submit plans and all of that for review so that you can get the permit to install that before anything's done.
Yes, we wanted a preliminary review just in the event that there were any significant responses from this group that we would want to address before we went in for building permit.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions? Otherwise, let's do a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary review.
Second.
All right, Katie, call the roll.
Snyden?
Aye.
Aye. I also will vote yes. Schnur?
Aye.
Hano?
Aye.
Biggs?
Aye.
Tristan?
Aye.
Aye.
Pratt? Aye. Motion carries.
Great. All right, we look forward to getting this going. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next up, 1028 Chicago Avenue. Stephanie Phelan, applicant submits for a sign variation to install a illuminated wall sign at a height of 29 feet 6 inches, where 15 feet 6 inches is allowed by sign regulation, section 4-10-9H, and not facing the public thoroughfares per section 4-10-3 Oscar Isberian Rugs in the C1 commercial mixed use district. Who is on for?
Stephanie Phelan, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. All right. Yes, we are, I'm representing Isberian Rugs. They are a fine rugs and carpeting store, and they've reached their 100th anniversary, and they are updating their retail space to reflect the quality of their carpets and their rugs. And they have, that's an old picture. They have, since that's been taken, painted the building a lovely charcoal gray all throughout. We have already permitted channel lettering sign for the front. And what we're asking for is channel lettering that is the same on the side to be noticed up and down Chicago Avenue, and that it being in their logo, it reflects their brand and the sophistication of their store now that it's painted and looking much nicer. We are requesting channel lettering rather than say a box sign, just because it has better branding qualities. And we feel that it would be, being up further, it would be more noticeable for people southbound on Chicago Avenue and also on the L.
All right, staff comments or questions?
I do have a comment, not a question. So the height request would be something that we could, certainly look at because other signs are as high, if not higher than yours. My concern is that you're asking for us to provide this variance to put the sign on a non-street or on a non-thoroughfare facing side of the building. We don't have that currently. We don't allow that. And I just would like to point out that if we approve this today, that we could be setting the precedent that, we would be allowing non-frontage facing signage.
Understood. There is not the availability to put, because of the way their store is, it fronts Chicago Avenue, so it goes on a north-south. There is not the place to put a monument sign that would address traffic, coming and going. It would only, the sign that is on the front of the building is only visible to people who are pretty much right in front of the building. So that's the reason for the request to put it on the north-south visibility. And all up and down, there are a number of car dealership signs that do have monument availability, but they don't have that availability on their particular property.
Is there a reason they didn't put the sign lower on the building, on the face of the building that's lower?
If you would prefer that could be done. It just really, it was just kind of for the look. It could come lower. It could be seen over the other buildings as people are driving down. But it's if you have an objection to the height, we are certainly amenable to it being lower.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lower sign, and then we've encouraged people in these situations. I mean, we're trying to slow the traffic to create less of an auto-oriented presence on Chicago Avenue. Obviously, there is automobile dealerships, but a blade sign or something smaller that can still be seen off the front of the building could help orient people who are not necessarily in front of the building. And it also, a blade sign would give both southbound and northbound traffic visibility. Right now, if you're traveling northbound, you're not going to see this sign. So you're only, benefiting half of the traffic. And also, there's trees there. There's, you're not, I don't know that this sign is necessarily giving the visibility that it might be getting if it was just a blade sign off the side of the building.
I also find that concerning, just because if you're coming from the south, there's no signage to show, there's no signage on the front to show that this is where you're supposed to be. It seems like it's really only benefit from one direction.
So I guess the question is where to put a blade sign that it would
How far are blade signs allowed to project over the right of way? I don't know the sign code well enough.
I don't have that information off the top of my head, but it's certainly something we can look at and discuss if we wanted to think about that.
My concern is just that it's the intent to be more of a, it's not necessarily a billboard with like graphics and everything, but it's serving more as like a billboard type sign about advertising the business, not necessarily a location identifier. Because it's not directing someone to the driveway or to the pedestrian entrance.
Okay. So we can entertain a blade sign then. And that might fulfill the lessening of the signage on Chicago Avenue, but still brand the store so that people could find them more easily.
That is a great sum up.
Very good. All right.
Great. Okay, so we will, how about we entertain a motion to, well, we might not even be a variance. So why don't we'll do a motion to hold. You can talk to your client and then maybe we'll check in with, you can just let us know what you want to do. And we'll
Very good.
off the agenda or not. So somebody want to make a motion to hold
I'll make a motion to hold.
to next week?
Sure. Next week.
Second.
Katie, call the roll, please.
Nyden,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
I will vote in favor. Schnur,
Aye.
Kano,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Kristen,
Aye.
Aye.
Pratt.
Aye.
Motion.
Great. Motion passes to hold. That completes our agenda items. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
We will
you.
adjourn at 3. Thank you. At 3:01. And see you all next week. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye.
Aye.